Hi guys, it's these days so simple, right? So simple to make your own scripts. Here is an example, of course, on a paid version, so there will be the free version is not that good than the paid version. But it started with an idea discussion between people, right? We have in Hyprland, it's an experimental Wayland desktop for one, so that's to play around with, not so much as for work or school. And this is what I told him. Let's make a script to install Hyprland and another one to install hyprland-git. So the two versions, a version that is, so to speak, frozen, fixed, a release 3.3.2, right? A release, that code. And a git is a pushing changes to the internet, to the GitHub or GitLab or something, right? But every drop of code goes on there, every change goes on there. Is this a correct code? Maybe not, right? There may be flaws, and an hour later they realize it and they put it back, another git push. So working with the latest git versions is like cutting edge, right? But there is this disadvantage that it might not work. So hence, Hyprland is for us a weekly update on Saturday morning. I'll just grab everything, build everything, test it out, 1, 2, 3 computers, boom, it works, it goes out, and we have a stable release for the week. But the what if is, what if I want a script to switch between Hyprland and hyprland-git, and then back to Hyprland, and then back to hyprland-git, right? This will not always work, since there will be new implementations, new parameters, new configs, and we'll have a certain version of a config, and that it might clash, right? Just as an exercise, it's certainly a valid thing to play with. And he says here, okay, so I told him also to go to Hyprland, the GitHub, and check the AOR ArcoLinux for the package build, what we need to install, remove if we switch from Hyprland to hyprland-git and vice versa. And he comes up with this answer. To install Hyprland, you do a query, it's there, sure, then you're gonna remove it, right? And then you're gonna install Hyprland. And then it comes the other script to install hyprland-git, install hyprland-git, a function, okay, execute this. Dependencies, all kinds of information that you read. Make it one script and use a case structure, hyprland-git, hyprland. So this is function 1, install me hyprland-git. This is function 2, install me hyprland, and remove one and the other, switch between two of them. And this is what he came up with. Case, choice, if you choose 1, we're gonna install hyprland-git. If you choose 2, you're gonna install hyprland. Or you did something wrong and you're exiting. Basically, copy, paste. Copy, paste, put it inside the package of Hyprland Nemesis, and here we are. View, let's go for the full screen here. We're on Virtual Manager, so QEMU as a backend. And if we do a Ctrl-T, we now have, in a few minutes you'll have it too, switch Hyprland. That's the thing you just saw, right? Switch Hyprland. Click. And you can have plenty more what ifs, right? Use the tools we have. And I always go to Chatgpt, but of course I know there are others. Focus, choose one, pay for one. That is all the difference. So hyprland-git AOR version, I'm not sure what I have now. Ctrl-T, sudo pacman -remove. What do I have now? What I'm working on is the Git version. Okay. So if this is the Git version, fine, then I'll get the other one, the stable version from the official repos, and it's true. Sudo pacman -s. If you type hyprland, see what happens. Now, a lot of issues. Let me do it differently. Hyprland, it's actually coming from Arch, right? Extra has nothing to do with ArcoLinux. It's a version 47.2.2. It's clicked, it's frozen for a while until there's a new release 48, 49, and so on, or smaller versions. So sure, if we choose 2, we're not going for the version that we've built on the basis of the GitHub, but going for the ArcoLinux look and ArcoLinux version, and off we go. So it's not one thing. Hyprland is a lot of things, and they all need to work together and have the right version, etc., etc. Otherwise, you guessed it, issues. So these guys, check them out. There's no Git version anywhere, right? Git means latest code from GitHub. This thing means a version also from GitHub, but compressed at some point in time, and now it's frozen. So this is a more stable version, as you can say it. And if we do super X log out, well, let's do reboot to be sure. That's in the end what we do. Shut down, boot up, and everything should work. So now we're on the stable at this point in time, right? It's now mid-February 2025. We're good. The same config parameters that we have are valid, but it might not be the case. So inside Hyper here, there might be some changes in the Hyprland config in the future. He'll tell you. There will be a bar somewhere and saying line this, I don't get that, or you should change this or change that, right? It's that's normal. If you want to go forward, develop, advance, yeah, you need to rewrite sometimes the code. So again, if this is sudo pacman minus remove the version that is the stable one, let's call it like that, Hyprland, that's the one we can remove. So Hyprland is installed, and I switch back to the Git version. Git version number 1, this is the default version that we're using. And our failsafe is a person, me. Every Saturday we update the whole bunch of the Git packages that it requires. Reboot. And off we go. So there you go, a new little script, and the message that I want to get across, of course, is if I can do this, right? You can do this. I'm sure you have what ifs. Let AI, whatever AI you choose, let it assist you learn about the code. There's nothing more interesting, more rewarding, more return on investment than learning to script. All right, cheers.